The fight for the future is now. This is The War Room with Owen Schroyer.
Democratic Party, which has brought the American people nothing but unconstitutional job-killing legislation and impeachment madness over the past 3 years, crawled out of their hole to explain the secretive coup they are engaging in upon the duly elected President of the United States.
Donald Trump betrayed his oath of office. He abused his power by pressuring a foreign leader to target an American citizen for political gain and withheld $391 million in aid to accomplish that invidious objective. That is textbook abuse of power. It betrays and undermines our national security as well as the integrity of our elections by soliciting foreign interference in the 2020 election. That is the issue.
Meanwhile, propaganda becomes the overall modus operandi of mass media in America.
This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town. The Kurds who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS.
ABC put out a little statement and said, "We regret the error." And I guess the New York Times regrets the error of putting out a photo of earthquake victims in Syria, piles of dead babies, saying Trump killed them. Now, that's called war propaganda. Remember Remington, the famous painter, and William McKinley getting us into the Spanish-American War? William Randolph Hearst famously wrote later in his memoirs that he called up Remington and he said, "You give me the pictures, I'll give you the war."
And under that umbrella of deceit, our government is holding undemocratic secret meetings to impeach the President of the United States based on conjecture and slander.
This strikes me as a call that's really more appropriate to be reading a transcript of from a mob wiretap.
This is how a mafia boss talks.
We always have people talking about how Donald Trump speaks like a mobster.
I don't like these mafia-like tactics to try to intimidate witnesses.
We see this from mob bosses. We do not see this from presidents.
Regardless of what the Mockingbird media says, there is no evidence of mafia-style quid pro quo. Of course, there's plenty when it comes to Hunter Biden.
Do you regret being on the board to begin with?
No, I don't regret being on the board. What I regret is not taking into account that there would be a Rudy Giuliani and a president of the United States that would be listening to this ridiculous conspiracy idea, which has, again, been completely debunked by everyone.
Some of the questions that I have, the deputy chief of mission in Ukraine was Ambassador Kent from 2015 to 2018. What did he know about Burisma, a corrupt foreign company? An investigation that was going on not just against Burisma, but also against a corrupt Ukrainian oligarch, Zlochevsky. That the sitting vice president's son, with no energy experience and no Ukraine experience, gets hired at $50,000 a month at least, because into his own admission, only because of his last name.
The fact that you were the son of the vice president.
Of course, yeah. No.
What role do you think that played?
I think that it is impossible for me to be on any of the boards that I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the Vice President of the United States.
The point man for the Obama administration is the vice president, in charge of the loans, the grants, delegated all of this authority on behalf of the United States government. He goes to Ukraine and threatens Ukraine with the loss of $1 billion if they don't immediately fire Shokin, who, by the way, had an open investigation into Burisma and Zlochevsky. Now, for some reason, Hunter Biden and some in the media like to say that that's debunked, like one big broad brush. Debunked. Do you know that every single thing that I said is 100% completely, indisputably accurate?
In the past, impeachment hearings were regarded as so severe that it was paramount that transparency and bipartisan debate dominated those proceedings.
We are beginning these hearings today in an atmosphere of utmost gravity. The questions that have been raised in the wake of the June 17 break-in strike at the very undergirding of our democracy. If the many allegations made to this date are true, then the burglars who broke into the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee at Watergate were in effect breaking into the home of every citizen of the United States. And if these allegations prove to be true, what they were seeking to steal was not the jewels, money, or other property.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday, October 17th, 2019. This is the Infowars.com War Room, brought to you by InfoWarsStore.com. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. Infowars has reporters on the ground in Dallas, where President Trump is holding a rally this evening. You had thousands of people lined up outside the American Airlines Arena, a very fine venue in Dallas, Texas, 2 days before the rally was even set to kick off. And this is video from this morning. Miles and miles of patriots, freedom-loving Americans outside of the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas. Now, think about how committed to fake news you must be to say Trump is unpopular, Trump is losing, the American people are against Trump, people want Trump impeached, Biden's beating Trump in a poll, Sanders is beating Trump in a poll, the Pillsbury Doughboy is beating Trump in a poll. It's so fake that you really can't even measure it other than just it is totally fake. And for ABC News, which the spin cycle is New York Times, CNN, New York Times, CNN, or on the other side, it's Washington Post, ABC News, Washington Post, ABC News, Washington Post, ABC News. So the Washington Post publishes the story a couple days ago. 13,000 lies the president has told. And then ABC News files the report. Trump has lied 13,000 times as president. The news organization that just ran footage from Kentucky claiming it was a Turkish assault on Kurds in Syria. Doctored the video. Now, how does that happen? How do all the mainstream news publications tell you Hillary Clinton has a 99% chance of winning and then Trump wins in a landslide? The people are on to the fake news. The fake news has been exposed. Project Veritas has exposed CNN again, wishing Trump was dead. You know, I listen to those CNN tapes and I think, okay, so CNN's a bunch of partisan hacks. You got a bunch of libtards over there running CNN. But it's the fact that they pose as non-biased. It's the fact that they pose as they're just there cutting it straight. The most trusted name in news, CNN. The president of CNN behind closed doors. Yeah, we're going to rig the debates. We're going to make sure we get Trump impeached. We're going to go with that false narrative. And then the former Obama official who is a host at CNN on an open mic caught on the street says, yeah, the whole Russian collusion thing's a nothing burger. We're just doing it for ratings. Project Veritas releases new tape, how they wish Trump was dead. Trump goes to Dallas where they shot JFK. Oh, yeah, the FBI covered that up. Trump released the declassified documents. Then you have Nancy Pelosi pointing to a gun bracelet 2 days in a row, saying, look, orange bullets, which of course don't exist. I will say this, I looked into the veracity of claiming that orange had anything to do with gun violence prevention. June 2nd is apparently Wear Orange Day for gun violence prevention, but Pelosi wears the bullets, points to them, fondles them, says, we're going to get Trump, we're not going to stop. And really, though, I mean, what is the Joe Biden on the 17th? Freudian slip. That's very strange. And then how he caught himself and stopped. And then this was brought to my attention. I don't know if we'll be able to access it. It's a New York Times story, and I haven't even had enough time to sort through all the stacks of news, but I'll be able to pull it up right here. Last week, the New York Times ran this story, A Guide to Impeachment. It's all about how James Comey is a hero. But it's odd because I noticed this at the time, and I didn't talk about it because it's just the same old BS. But notice the picture here. Now, you know that every element of this photo was considered before it was published, before it was taken. And so I always notice this. It's like little Legos with Star Wars, and then like looks like a train going by. And then someone mentioned that to me today. Does that not look like a Dealey Plaza JFK motorcade with a little ominous message there? So that was brought to my attention today. And of course it was Dallas, where JFK was assassinated. And you have Hollywood saying it's time to kill the president. You have former CIA officials saying it's time to kill the president. You have the Democrat Party doing everything they can to try to remove him from office. You have Chuck Schumer threatening the president with the intelligence communities. But let's look at just how corrupt these people really are, folks. The Democrat Party, the media, and the intelligence community are all corrupt. They've been fully exposed by Trump. Here is a video compilation put together, the Democrat media complex displaying and illustrating perfectly how in cahoots the Democrats and the media really are. Clip 15. Do we have it?
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office.
The president has been exposed violating his oath of office.
The president of the United States has betrayed his oath of office.
Violations of his oath to the Constitution.
Unprecedented breach of the oath of office.
Betrayals of his oath of office.
The president has admitted enough. We have got enough information at this point.
He's already confirmed what he's done in broad daylight.
We've basically got a confession.
He's already confessed to this crime.
The president has already admitted.
The president admits he did it.
The White House and the State Department continue to orchestrate this massive cover-up.
We are watching a cover-up by the president of the United States.
They've been in the business of trying to cover up.
Implicated in a cover-up.
There's a cover-up.
The cover-up, the attempted cover-up.
To interfere with the Congress's ability to call before it relevant witnesses will be considered as evidence of obstruction.
Trump's strategy, it's pretty clear. Obstruct, confuse.
Obstructing justice, refusing to comply with the congressional inquiry.
It is obstruction of justice. It's bribery.
A lot of the committees have documented obstruction of justice.
All of this obstruction from the White House and from the president specifically.
He's using the abuse of power in every element of the presidency.
The heart of the abuse of power.
This gross abuse of power.
You could say it was an abuse of power.
There has been an abuse of power.
More signs of abuse of power.
A very devastating picture of
obviously impeachable abuse of power.
So that's literally just a clip of a Democrat followed by a clip of the media, but it's all the same. They're all the same. They all work for the same people, work for the same agenda, and therefore have the exact same talking points, exact same bullet points, and want, of course, the exact same thing, and that's Trump to be removed from office. But think about the arrogance of all of those people. Think about the arrogance. Roll the B-roll again from outside the Trump rally. Think about the arrogance for all these people in the television media and in the Democrat Party to sit here and say, nope, you don't exist. You don't have any rights. You are not an American. You didn't vote. You're not free. That's what they're telling you. No, you don't get to have Trump as president. And it could be anybody. Replace that with anybody you want. You don't get to have who you want as president. We decide. We decide in the media. We decide in the Democrat Party now. And you notice how they do this whole thing with Biden. They say, and we played the clip of Lee Zeldin in the first segment. They say, well, Biden has been cleared of any wrongdoing. This has been totally debunked. No, it hasn't. It's been totally proven. It's been debunked in the media because the media works for the Democrat Party. But they don't really work for the Democrat Party, do they? They work for something else a lot more sinister, don't they? I think that's all coming out, too. We're back live. The InfoWars World Headquarters in Austin, Texas. President Trump is just, what is it, about 150 miles from here to Dallas, something like that. And that's where President Trump is, at the American Airlines Arena, a beautiful American venue where he will be having a rally tonight. I'm telling you, you know, I'd like to see, we've got a crew on the ground. I'll ask them what was it, last month I called for the Trump Carnival. I mean, I really think Trump, I mean, he wouldn't be able to probably fill an entire football stadium, but I mean, he could get, I bet you if they promoted it right, 50,000 at an event. And he's so afraid that if there's one empty seat, that they'll say it was a miserable failure. But nobody believes the fake stream news anymore. In fact, the more they lie, the more the justified vitriol towards them increases. And they can sit here and they say, oh, Trump is making us look bad. Trump is making us the enemy. Trump is making people hate us. No, you're doing that. You're the ones that played the fake video claiming it was in Syria. You're the ones that said Trump was racist. You're the ones that said the Covington Catholic boys got in Nathan Phillips' face. You're the ones that said Jussie Smollett was victim of a hate crime. That was you. Your actions, CNN. Your actions, MSNBC. Your actions, ABC. Your actions are why people hate you. Your own actions. You decided. And there's a certain level of reality we don't like to go to because we don't want to be the ones who get the finger pointed at us to say, oh, see, you caused violence. But at a certain level, when you're a commie in the United States of America promoting a communist agenda, what do you think people are going to do and say? You really think communism is going to fly in this country and it's just going to be smooth sailing? Guess we'll find out. But the good news is authoritarianism posing as communism is failing now in the West. Now, I got a bunch of videos I'm going to get to, but, you know, we got this story yesterday. Breathing polluted air could age the memory by 10 years. New study warns. And so you also have the studies that come out and tell you that the average U.S. home is as polluted as a major metropolitan area. Well, you do the math, folks. That means the average U.S. home, the air in it could lower your life. Could lower your life expectancy. So, I don't know about you, but probably want to do something about that. I know I did, so I got water filters and air filters in my home. We have air filters here. So, I don't want my memory to decrease 10 years early because of polluted air that I'm breathing in. So I have the Alexa Pure Breeze in my home. We have the Alexa Pure Breeze here at the office. And look, we've got it on sale right now, 40% off with free shipping. That is a major deal. The Alexa Pure Breeze from InfoWarsStore.com. Don't breathe in the polluted air. And, you know, it's amazing, actually, when you look at your filter every month, just all the dust and how it gets all grimy, and you're just stunned. You're just stunned. You're like, how was this in my home? And it's not that big of a unit. I mean, it's about as big as a small trash can, and it still is able to do all that work. And so you'll know how efficient this thing is at cleaning your air when you see the filter. It's quite shocking, actually. The Alexa Pure Breeze from InfoWarsStore.com. Don't breathe in the polluted air. Don't let your home be filled with polluted air that your friends are coming over and breathing, your family's breathing, your children are breathing. Filter your air with InfoWarsStore.com. The Alexa Pure Breeze on sale. Big special, 40% off and free shipping at InfoWarsStore.com. Okay, we're going to be live all the way through Trump's rally tonight. And so we're going to have an extended hour broadcast from 6 to 7. And then I'm going to come back from 7 to 9 covering the Trump rally. And so we may have Tom Pappert filming in from 6 to 7. It may be me. I think I may be able to do a 7-hour marathon here. I may need some extra turbo force. But luckily, we've got plenty of that. But we're going to be with you at least till 9 o'clock tonight, covering the Trump rally. And hopefully that's it, if you know what I mean. No other fireworks from the Trump rally tonight. But I think what I'll do is, since I've got an open broadcast schedule today, we'll probably take some phone calls. And so I'm not sure when I'll get to that, but eventually we will indeed take some phone calls. So let me review. Let's do this. I ran into this video on Twitter, and I think it's very telling. I think it illustrates well what socialism does. And sometimes you need a little comedy, you need a little visualization to really hammer the point home. But where people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, who really is Bernie Sanders, I mean, policy-wise, is there any difference? I don't think so. And Bernie's about to bring AOC up to some event, and, you know, she's the crown princess of communism in the West. So, brought to you by AOC, who loves cooking on her Instagram. Or I think that's what she does. I don't know. Maybe she's cooking meth. But AOC brings you socialism in America. So here's cooking with socialism with AOC. Here's cooking with socialism. As you can see, they're chopping up nothing. And then they're throwing the nothing into the plate, dipping on the nothing, braising it in a hot nothing, splattering some more nothing on there. Now stirring the nothing up in the pot that doesn't get any heat because there's no electricity. Ooh, yeah, put that final topping of nothing on there. There you go. Perfect balance of flavor. Stir it up a little bit. Still no heat because there's no electricity or gas available, but you put your nothing in the pan. Now your nothing is ready to go. And put it back on your one plate with your one wooden spoon. Oh, and you have a metal spoon, too. Wow, this must be a very wealthy socialist. Very well-to-do. And there you go. There's cooking with socialism, guys. Very good stuff. And don't worry, because meat is bad anyway. So we'll cut the meat out, and then soon, you know, that stalk of broccoli has a life, too, and a consciousness. And so, you know, don't harm the stalk of broccoli. Just starve to death. But seriously, I don't know who put that video together, but pretty funny. Cooking with socialism. For the radio audience, it's just, they just have a knife on a cutting board and then an empty pan. Oh, wait, what's this now? Plants' response to being eaten is very similar to our response to pain, researchers proved. Wow, when is that from? What year is that, guys? Is that this year? That sure is. See, I told you, I didn't even know this. So stop eating altogether, because plants have feelings too. John Boy, who is out in Dallas, took off, I think it was 2 days ago for Dallas, with his wonderful girlfriend there, and they have been spotted multiple times. They have a Project Veritas sign that is going viral. People are taking pictures of, ranting and raving about, which, by the way, has an InfoWars sticker on it. He also has an InfoWars sign that is getting a lot of love, obviously, as well. People are taking pictures of it. James O'Keefe has recognized it, Project Veritas. I've been retweeting John's videos. He put out a video this morning. He put out one the other day. And so I just want to give him a shout out. He's making waves out there. In part of the front lines there, I think John got there 2 days early. In fact, maybe we get John on the phone. I bet you I could get him on the phone. Or are our reporters on the ground yet? Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally just giving out orders in real time right now. Can somebody just find out? Oh, of course he doesn't. He's totally off the grid. You can't even get him. Somehow on Twitter, though. I mean, he's still politically active in the digital world without even a phone. No, that's all right. I just want to get someone on that's boots on the ground, and we wanted to give him a shout out here. So when I think we have Millie out there, I think we have Will Johnson out there. So guys, just let me know whenever they get boots on the ground, if you will. I want to get intel from Dallas as soon as possible from boots on the ground. So we're going to be working on that. I've finally gotten all my news sorted out here. So let me do this. Let me go through all the news in typical News Blitz fashion. We'll get to some of these videos. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll get a reporter live on the ground. Wow, though, I was thinking, because I got all this news, and we're going to be busy all night here at InfoWars. But it's weird, because I was saying yesterday, it's like we're here, we're in the arena, we're in the final battle. It's like if you play a video game all the way to the final battle, and this is the final stage. or you're an athlete and you want to win the championship, this is the championship. I mean, we're in it right now. This is it. And so it's like, well, do I just come up here and cover news? Part of me is like, it's almost like you feel like a coach, you know, before a big football game or before a big basketball game. And you just want to say the right things to motivate the team. But the team is already motivated. I mean, the team is flying. And so you just look at all, I mean, you just zoom out and look at everything. We are really at a crossroads right now of reality, the actual reality of the 3D world that we live in, breathe in, operate in, work in, versus the world that the media, Democrat media complex is trying to project onto our reality, which is everybody's racist, everybody hates Trump, everybody's miserable because of Trump's politics, Obama was perfect, the Democrats trying to remove Trump are the good guys, socialism good, China good, America bad. Of course, this is nonsense. Trump's not popular. Trump will be impeached. Yeah, right. Who is going to impeach Trump? The entire Democrat Party could have a rally anywhere they wanted to impeach Trump, and it would be a total embarrassment for them. Because even if they got people to show up, the media would be there asking them, why do you want Trump impeached? They wouldn't be able to tell us. The Democrat Party would be asked, why do you want Trump impeached? They'd be parroting the same false narratives they have been for years. But I'm getting off on a tangent here. So let me just get into this news, do a news blitz before I go to these video clips and take your calls. So, Mark Zuckerberg, the first ever human android, was speaking at Georgetown in a t-shirt, and he says, this is a quote. In fact, guys, see if you can find this video. The crew just loves me this week. I'm like a tornado to the crew this week. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says, we are at a crossroads. We can either continue to stand for free expression. Sorry. I'm sorry, I just choked on Zuckerberg's words. Or we can decide that the cost is simply too great. I am here today because I believe that we should continue to stand for free expression. I can't do it. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. There's just something amiss here. It's like, what is Zuckerberg talking about? Go ahead and give me a dot cam here. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is some BS right there. So Zuckerberg goes to Georgetown University and just lays out a fresh pile of BS. A big stinking pile of BS. We stand for free speech at Facebook. Really, Mark? Am I allowed on there? Because I was banned in less than what was my number on Facebook? I can't even remember. Like 3 hours, I think, before they took me down. Instagram bans this, the hand gesture. Freedom of expression. Yeah, Zuckerberg. Like I said, that is a stinking, steaming pile of dung from Mark Zuckerberg. What a fraud. But it's like the same thing. The Democrats, Trump is unpopular. We're going to impeach Trump. Trump's the bad guy. Trump did the bad trade deals. Trump is responsible for the Middle East. Trump colluded with Russia. Trump is using Ukraine to engage in dirty politics. Literally everything they did. These people really think they can defeat reality with their conglomeration of fake media. Not on my watch. Plan for U.S. Department of Peace. This is from Marianne2020.com. Marianne Williamson 2020. Well, she's halfway right here. She wants to create a U.S. Department of Peace. Okay, I give the old good witch credit. But then she also says she wants to have stricter gun control, and that's when you just kind of say, oh. Ed Buck, this is from the LA Times, Ed Buck was known for his abrasive behavior. Oh, abrasive behavior, yes. Oh, abrasive behavior. Hey, I'm going to drug you till you nearly die and torture you. Well, hey, that's a little abrasive. So Ed Node was known for his quote-unquote abrasive behavior. Let's rephrase this headline for the LA Times. Ed Buck was known to drug and torture black gay men for his pleasure, but politicians still took his money. Yeah, that's because they're into it too. Notice what Ed Buck looks like since he hasn't been able to get the adrenochrome, since he hasn't been able to get the demon energy torture. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Pretty telling. Hey, guess what? Warner Media has just launched a new $2 billion studio in New York City. It's going to headquarter CNN and HBO. Yes, $2 billion. Well, that just means that CNN and HBO are really going to be looking for that Chinese money. Because CNN is a miserable failure. I don't imagine the marketing deals that they have are going to last much longer. There's no way. I mean, HBO does well enough, I guess. I don't know how HBO really makes that much money, but I guess they do with their subscription-based services. But CNN is going the wrong way. Totally exposed by Project Veritas. But they got a fancy new studio. You can get a fresh soy latte on the 34th floor, where the cafe is open 24/7, because we know at CNN they don't sleep until Trump is impeached or dead. All right, I've got so much to get to, so I'm just going to bear down and do it here. I mean, these video clips, these are crazy. And I want to get to all of them. I also want to take your calls. I was going to open up the phone lines, but I realized you'll just be sitting online for at least half an hour. So let me just get through the rest of this news before I do that. And before I go to some of these videos. But first, InfoWarsStore.com. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Everything Must Go sale at InfoWarsStore.com right now. So that means up to 70% off some products and supplements at InfoWarsStore.com. And we can now tell you that, unfortunately, but this was the plan, the Space Force t-shirts are now almost gone. That's right. The famous Space Force t-shirts are now almost gone. So if you like the Space Force t-shirt and you want to secure yours before they're gone, go to InfoWarsStore.com and get a limited edition Space Force t-shirt. Not many left, folks, so take advantage of that. I've told you about the Alexa Pure Breeze. You know about the water filters, the supplements. It's all at InfoWarsStore.com, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost out of Survival Shield X3, which is 70% off if you've been following that special. It's all at InfoWarsStore.com. Free shipping, store-wide. Don't forget, this Saturday, 4 o'clock, in an undisclosed location, but it will be somewhere near, what's the UT Stadium? I think it's Edward K. Royal Stadium, is it, guys? I think that's the name of the UT football stadium, or some Royal, Darrell Royal, I think. We'll be somewhere in the vicinity. I'm not sure where yet, but we're going to have a tent set up. We're going to have political banners hanging, and we're going to have a grill going. We'll be cooking burgers and hot dogs, and this is the Tent City Tailgate. Come on, get the crew in here. The crew's really excited. The crew will be all out there, too. So if you want to come meet the great crew that somehow makes me look good every day, obviously they don't do that great of a job, but I mean, it's tough working with this ugly mug. But there's the great crew. So they'll be out there as well. And like I said, we'll have burgers, we'll have hot dogs, and we're going to have a good time. And we'll be making political messages. So if you want to bring out, I'm going to have my Trump is innocent banner. Maybe I'll bring out the NBA owns China banner, Google is evil banner. I got all these banners we can hang. So you can come hang out with us. And hopefully it'll be a good, because there's a UT football game in town. UT football is pretty good this year. They're a ranked program nationally. So there'll be a large contingent of Longhorn football fans and drunk college students, and we'll be sitting right smack dab in the middle of all of it with our big, fat InfoWars banners, our big, fat Trump is innocent banners, and our tent and our big, fat, liberty-loving, patriotic smiles. So I hope you can join us. Now, let me just finish off this news blitz. Ken Cuccinelli cites 22 million illegal immigrants, nearly twice the previous tally. Yeah, again, anybody with a brain told you that old number they used to use is so inaccurate. It's probably even bigger than that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's double that. Point is, it's out of control, and it needs to be stopped. And it's so out of control, I really don't even know at this point. I mean, other than just a total shutdown, what you can do. Federal debt up $1.2 trillion in this fiscal year, borrowed nearly $10,000 per U.S. household. So the debt continues to go up, and the deficit doesn't get much better either. So, you can't give Trump a win there if he could even win there. However, this whole notion about taxes, Trump has cut the taxes. In fact, guys, look it up. But I think now for the second straight year we have set, maybe even the third, it happened when JFK cut the taxes, but guys, look it up. I believe the second straight year we're going to set a record for taxes paid. So people are actually paying their taxes now, I guess is what it is. But Trump lowers the taxes, more tax revenue is coming in, more than ever before. And that phenomenon happens every time the taxes get cut. So I don't know what the science or math or anything and the analytics behind that, but it's just true. So you're getting record tax revenues right now, record tax returns, and that's because you cut the taxes. And you say, how is that possible? Well, I don't know. If you, it's a price point index. You say, well, if I'm trying to sell things at $10, or if I'm trying to sell things at $1, but I sell 30 things at $1 and 2 things at $10, where do I make more money? Or where do you have more income, I guess would be the better analogy. But the point is, some wins, some losses. There's a story right there. This is from yesterday, Investors Business Daily. Federal revenues hit all-time highs under Trump tax cuts. Yeah, because people have more money. They actually pay their taxes. They go out and they consume more. Unlike socialism, where you're left to starve to death, or like in Venezuela, where they're eating their pets. Let's go into some international news. Hey, roll the B-roll for these guys. Let me see them. It's the climate change protesters. So clips 18 and clip 18 and clip 16. Just roll it as B-roll while I cover this story. But so you've had the Extinction Rebellion. We've been playing clips of this. It's some of the strangest videos. So the people, they're now up on trains. They're trying to stop people from commuting to work. And this individual, they're now, the citizens in London are now throwing things at them. And one hops up, drags him off the train. And then obviously it doesn't end up well for him. Everybody wants to take at least one swing. It's kind of a free-for-all at that point. But what do you expect? You're disrupting people's lives. And so they're pulling them off of trains. There's people that super glue themselves to the street. They're doing weird dance routines in the street. And so just London commuters are starting to take things into their own hands now. And they're literally dragging them off of trains. And I don't think it ends very well from them in that angry mass of people. But we're seeing this everywhere now. And it's not going to get any better for these Extinction Rebellion protesters. Yeah, and then in clip 18, too, if you want to roll the other clip, too, I don't know if it's, just don't even worry about playing the audio because I think there may be cursing. I don't know if we censored it, but it's these activists now on a train, and people that are on the train are just lecturing them like, hey, you know, why don't you get out of my way? It's kind of like an illustration of just the globalists right now and freedom-loving Americans. But really, it's the Democrats that are in our way. And we're just like, hey, Democrats, just get out of our way, okay? Just get out of our way. We want to have a safe country. We want to have a prosperous country. We want America to go on into the future. You guys are in our way for doing that, so just be gone. But they won't go away, will they? They just won't go away. Brexit. Boris Johnson, very confident Parliament will back his Brexit deal. after Juncker, the old Nazi who can't stop drinking, rejects extension. Well, they reached a deal. It's going to Parliament now. And so it's like, oh, we may finally get Brexit. I wouldn't count on it. But Farage is not so thrilled. And he would rather see this negotiating extended rather than take this deal that they have now. But I don't think it'll matter because I don't think this deal will go through. It's Brexit or bust at this point. Negotiating is just pathetic probably because you already voted twice. Turkey's Erdogan threw Trump's Syria letter in the bin. It's from BBC News. Well, you saw the letter. What does he say in it? Don't be dumb, I think he says, or don't be a tough guy. Don't be a fool. And but the BBC, I mean, this is such a joke. He threw it in the bin like, oh my gosh, Erdogan and Trump Erdogan just hates Trump. Trump's just so bad. They just throw his letters away. Trump has no respect internationally. Well, what was he supposed to do with the letter? Was he supposed to burn it? Or maybe it was like a message from, what cartoon was it? Was it Inspector Gadget where they'd get the secret messages and it would self-destruct in 30 seconds? What cartoon was that? You guys remember that? This is going to bother me now. Was it Inspector Gadget with Mission Impossible 2? This message will self-destruct. Boom! Yeah. No, oh my gosh. Erdogan threw Trump's letter in the trash can instead of saving it for the rest of his life. The whole thing, nothing adds up with it anyway. The U.S. and Turkey agreed a 5-day ceasefire. Vice President Mike Pence announced the United States and Turkey have reached a deal to suspend Ankara's operations in northern Syria for 5 days. And so, but what does that mean? So they're going to move these people, the Kurds, into a safe zone in Syria so they're not being slaughtered by Turkey. This is allegedly the deal. It just doesn't really add up to me, quite frankly. And Turkey says it's not a ceasefire. So I don't really know what the deal is. I just want to get the troops out of there. That's simple. I understand. So Robert Francis O'Rourke goes up on the CNN debate stage and says he's going to confiscate your firearms. Of course, this is the polar opposite of what he said on an interview where he said, we're not going to take your guns. Well, Beto saw himself shrinking in the polls, and he knew the only way for him to fundraise would be to say, yeah, we're going to take the guns. That's the only way he can fundraise and make headlines. So he doesn't actually believe this politically. He's just doing this for fundraising. But he's been doing TV interviews, continuing with this rhetoric. Here is Robert Francis on CNN doubling down on calling to hand in the ARs.
I fully expect my fellow Americans to follow the law.
You expect mass shooters to follow the law?
Our fellow Americans will follow the law, yes.
Congressman, mass shooters don't fall by definition. The mass shooters in Parkland, in El Paso, I could go on for 10 minutes. They don't follow the law by definition. It doesn't make sense that people are going to hand over their assault weapons. If they're mass shooters, if they want to do harm to people, they're not going to follow the law. So then what's your plan?
Yeah. So I don't know that you make any law or stop making any law because you fear that some people will not follow the law in any part of American life.
If somebody doesn't voluntarily hand over their assault weapon, you're going to go to their house, and then what?
If we pass this law, then I expect our fellow Americans to follow the law. And this is not speculation. We've seen other countries do this, like Australia, that have seen a significant decrease in law.
Law-abiding people follow the law, but our problem is with mass shooters who don't.
Now, that is amazing. That was a CNN interview. I'm just trying to figure out if she did that interview this morning, because that was literally everything I was saying yesterday. That's amazing. So a CNN host is actually putting the right questions to fake Beto. And you notice how he paused, and he's just like, what did he even repeats himself? He's just like, he paused and he goes, I expect Americans to follow the law, like he's a robot. So fake Beto, who's not actually running for president, he's just fundraising at this point. He says the exact same thing pretty much virtually on MSNBC as well.
So, Congressman, let me ask you, let's say I have an AR-15. I bought it legally 5 years ago. I'm a law-abiding citizen. You want to buy it back as president of the United States. I say no. You give me other incentives. I say no. I bought this legally. I'm keeping this. I live on a ranch. I need it for protection. What would you do then?
First of all, I wouldn't concede the point on following the law. I don't know you well, Joe, but I know you well enough to expect you to follow the law, even if it's a law that you disagree with. I think it's one of the things that distinguishes us as a country. We're a country of laws.
Okay, but let's just assume that there's a rancher in Texas that says, I'm not going to do this.
And Beto's breaking the law by calling for firearm confiscation.
What's the next step? I think that's what we need to concede, because there will be people that don't turn their guns back in. What's the next step for the federal government there?
Yeah, I think just as in any law that is not followed or flagrantly abused, there have to be consequences, or else there is no respect for the law. Yes. So, in that case, I think there would be a visit by law enforcement to recover that firearm and to make sure that it is purchased, bought back, so that it cannot be potentially used against somebody else.
No, they're rejecting it buyback.
But my faith is in this country.
So what happens,
and in
Beto?
My fellow Americans following the law and listening
You're
to
going to
people
kill Americans, Beto?
AK-47s and AR-15s who acknowledge, who concede they don't need it for self-protection.
We have a Second Amendment, you jackass.
Its real, true purpose and use is on a battlefield.
This guy doesn't get it, does he? This guy doesn't get it, does he? No, of course he does. This is all a campaign stunt, folks. This is all he's doing. He's trying to stay relevant and get campaign donations. Really pathetic if you think about it. Really demonic to sit here and say, I'm going to take away your God-given right so I can get rich. Welcome back to the Infowars.com War Room. We are into the second hour. Tom Pappert is going to be hosting from 6 to 7. I'll sign off at 6, but I'll be back live at 7 o'clock till at least 9 p.m. covering the Trump rally, where friend of the show, John, he goes by John Boy, will keep his full name secret, because we know what Antifa likes to do to Trump supporters, especially down here in Austin, even when they are just great people like John and his girlfriend, who went up to Dallas for the Trump rally, and I believe they've been in line 2 days, but I want to get all the details from him. John is now inside, right next to the podium. He's kind enough to have Skyped in with us. So I'm going to just go ahead and ask John all the questions that I have right now. First of all, John, thank you for joining us from inside. I think this is the first look inside the Trump rally right now. You are literally in the front row.
Literally, there's the podium right there.
This is awesome, my friend. And I'm told you have the Space Force t-shirt on. Is that true? Look at that. A real beauty. I got to be honest, the orange in your beard really brings out the colors of the Space Force t-shirt. You got to be honest, folks. I mean, come on. That is the look right there.
Back to Trump podium. It doesn't get any better than this. We showed up out here today. We got here at like 1:30 in the morning to get in line. We had the Project Veritas sign. We had the Infowars sign. We got love all day. We had so many people asking questions, taking pictures. A lot of people showing Infowars love. A lot of people showing Project Veritas love. And, a little bit of heat from the Secret Service about the signs. And then, everything was smooth. I'm glad that it was a successful day. I didn't think I was going to get in this close to the podium, but, everything went smoothly.
Well, that's amazing. I got a couple questions. So you said you got heat from Secret Service about the signs. Does that mean they took your signs, or what do you mean by that?
Well, no, they didn't take them. I ended up just chunking them because you're not allowed to bring them inside. So, and then they kind of keep you free if you're walking up and down outside the stadium with them, like I was doing. I was kind of walking around showing the crowd the signs, walking up and down, talking to people with the signs. And the more security that showed up, the more they were like, they kept coming up to me telling me, you can't have those signs. You can't bring them in. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm not going to bring them in. I'm outside. Just exercising my rights outside. I'm not inside. So, but yeah.
So security's real tight there. So yeah, you weren't able to get the signs in. You still got the Infowars shirt on. You're in the front row. So, but you're saying you had the signs. You had a Project Veritas sign. You had an Infowars sign. You got a ton of publicity. People taking pictures. Project Veritas recognized you. James O'Keefe did as well. So you're saying people were all about the love, saying, hey, thank God for Project Veritas, thank God for InfoWars?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we were walking up and down the streets in front of the stadium, and, I mean, they were just cheering, clapping, screaming, saying thank you. I mean, people thought I was actually working with InfoWars and Project Veritas. They were thanking me for the work that you guys do and the work that they do. I'm like, no, I'm just out here supporting those two organizations with the signs, but I guess they kind of just took them as pretty legitimate signs, and were thanking me personally for the work that you guys do. But,
this is great. This is great. Friend of the program, John Boy here, giving us an exclusive look, one of the first looks from inside the Trump rally. He's literally in the front row. Hey, when did you guys get to American Airlines Arena? Because you've been there for at least a day in line, right?
We got here at 1:30 in the morning.
This morning?
1:30 in the morning, we got in line, and we've been out here all day.
And what was it like when you got there? How many people were already there when you got there at 1 a.m. this morning?
At least 500 people were in front of us.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a good amount of people already here at 1:30 in the morning, and we heard people saying that they showed up like at Wednesday, 9 a.m. at Wednesday morning, and they were like the first people in line. So, yeah.
That's amazing. So people have been out there for 2 days before this event. We're showing B-roll right now of just it's thousands of people that were out there probably by noon, I would guess. I mean, when did the crowd size just start getting overwhelming?
When did the crowd size start getting
overwhelming?
Oh, no, I mean, it was crazy all day, man. Yeah, the crowd size just grew and grew and grew. It got so overwhelmed. I mean, everybody was just kind of merging. We had to basically fight our way from getting cut like so many times. People were just merging towards the building. And at that point, you just kind of like shove your way up there and try not to be chaotic. But the crowd size has been insane.
So he's there literally in the front row. This is awesome. He's got his girlfriend. They traveled all the way up to Dallas for this. They got to the front row, so that's great. Oh, and she's got the Trump Medusa shirt on there too. Look at that fine T-shirt right there. Trump holding up the head of Hillary.
Yeah.
Did people recognize those T-shirts?
Oh, absolutely. There's another guy standing like right over there wearing a Beto Knott shirt, and then there's another guy in the stands over here wearing the same Trump Medusa shirt. InfoWars shirts are everywhere in here.
Yeah, I saw a couple T-shirts at the Minnesota rally. I saw a Hillary for Prison one. I saw a Trump Pence 2021. So that's great. So the T-shirts are out in full force. Well, heck, what does the energy feel like? I mean, I remember being in that arena this summer for an NHL hockey game. The energy was great then. I imagine that the energy level's huge right now.
It's electric. It's definitely hyped. And it makes it even better whenever you have Turbo Force smuggled into the building.
Oh, my gosh. He's smuggled a performance-enhancing drug into the Trump event.
Smuggled Turbo Force into the building. We are literally getting high off Turbo Force at the Trump rally.
It only makes sense. Oh my gosh, John, you've just come up with John has just come up with the marketing for Turbo Force. Are you about to stand in line for 48 hours at a Trump rally? Make sure to have your Turbo Force.
I mean, it's getting crazy. We're going to be doing shots of Turbo Force with President Trump behind us.
Yeah, make sure President Trump gets a shot of that Turbo Force. We need him high energy. Hey, does your girlfriend want to say anything? She's standing over there quiet. I know she's the strong silent type. Does she have anything to say?
Hi. I'm just happy to be here. This is my first Trump rally.
Crazy good time.
Yeah, really.
What do you think for your first Trump rally?
The energy and the excitement.
Is it what you expected?
Oh, it's more. It's more than I expected.
Yeah, this is a la the Houston rally. I don't know, John, were you at the Houston rally too?
Yeah, I went to the Houston rally, but you guys were outside and I was inside, so yeah, I don't think y'all came into the one in Houston, did y'all?
No, we weren't able to get in, but I'm curious, is it pretty much, because that was I think the biggest rally I've ever seen. Does this have kind of the same feeling as that one?
I think the Trump one, the one in Houston, was a little bit bigger than this. Because
there were lines down Street all the way around. You could see
Right.
There were 3 massive lines outside of the building over here.
Wow. We're about to take a break. How many people are in the building right now? Sounds like we got a chant going here or something. Yeah, hey, give us a quick pan. Yeah, John, give us a quick pan just so we can get this exclusive look inside the Trump rally right now. So there you go, folks. Already thousands of people inside what is a wonderful facility. The American Airlines Arena really is beautiful. And already thousands of people inside. Hey, there's the fake news media, too. Oh, that's going to be fun. You know Trump will hit the fake news media. Well, John, thank you so much for phoning in here, for Skyping in, for representing InfoWars. God bless you and your girlfriend there. Godspeed. You guys have fun. There he goes. Wow, that's awesome. Front row for John. Hey, big shout out. Hey, pull up John's Twitter if we have it convenient, just so people can see where they can find him if they want to follow all the great stuff that he does with his political activism and any reports that he may put out from inside the Trump rally. We've got crew that's almost on the ground, too, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, at Boy Lexus. Okay, we'll be right back on the other side of this break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere unless you're going to go to InfoWarsStore.com. That's the only place I'll let you go. That's it. Anywhere else, forbidden. I was just crunching some numbers in the break. Trump's pretty much set to win 2020. There's only one thing. There's only one thing that is a threat. And that's Texas going blue. And you know that the Democrats have done everything in their realm of possibility to make Texas blue. All the illegal immigration, all the voting fraud. I mean, Beto's campaign literally got caught by Project Veritas admitting they fund illegal immigration. I mean, if a Beto campaign is doing that, imagine what the Democrat Party is doing. Imagine what these fake churches are doing down here. And so that's the real threat. And I think Alex Jones was perhaps more right than he realized when he said the fate of America hangs with the fate of Texas electorally. If Trump wins Texas, it's over. There's no chance for the Democrats. If Texas goes blue, whoever the Democrat nominee is might actually have a chance. I was literally just wargaming the interactive 2020 map, and I was pretty conservative as far as some states not going for Trump, but it really just comes down to Texas. And they've been making it more because here's what they do. There's a tax exodus in California, and so all these California libtards move to Texas and vote Democrat. So they go take a big fat dump on California and destroy it, and then they say, wow, this place sucks. Let's go to somewhere that doesn't suck so much and make it suck. So they come to Texas. That's why tech is breaking out here in Austin. That's why you see also crime in downtown Austin is rising, police chief says. Wow, really? It's not an insult to Chief Manley. That's an insult to perhaps the biggest disgrace of a mayor in America outside of perhaps Ted Wheeler or Libby Schaaf. I mean, this guy Adler, the mayor of Austin, is a real piece of work. I mean, a real failure. Whoa. There's a freaking, like, you can get, like, executive style tents. You know what I'm saying? Like the big, nice tents. There's one just posted up in the middle of downtown today in Austin. They can't do anything about it. It's legal. It's crazy. You got homeless people attacking people in New York and LA and San Francisco, now in Austin, in Seattle. They're drugged out of their mind. And Mayor Adler says there's no drug problem here. Well, none of them stay overnight at the homeless shelter because you don't let them do drugs there. They're all literally coked out or cracked out on the street. So it all comes down to the same thing, though. This is what Democrats do to cities. They destroy cities. And the Democrats have done the measurements. I mean, if I can sit here at my desk in 3 minutes and do the math, and I suck at math, not like Andrew Yang, who literally wore a math pin on his lapel. What a weirdo. Hey, I can do the math, too. It really does come down to Texas. If Trump wins Texas, it doesn't matter. It's over. But if the Democrats take Texas, whoa, this republic is really in deep trouble because the commies from California will figure out the formula, and they'll start invading Oklahoma and Oklahoma City. They'll start invading Kansas City and try to turn Missouri blue. I mean, that will be their new game plan. Tax people out of existence in California, ship them over to Texas, destroy that, turn it blue, and then just scatter them throughout the nation. But if Trump can beat this wave of voter fraud and fake news now, that could put a stake in it for a long time to come. But this rally in Texas is so important for the president, and it's so key for him to win Texas. And you think, oh, well, it's Texas. He'll be fine. No, this is not Texas anymore. This is California light. So it's really just comes down to Texas. Now, guys, let me just do this because I need to make sure I do this, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we've got time to do this now. 11 and 12 and 19, guys. First, let's go. So Project Veritas is just raping CNN with the truth. It's really CNN raping CNN. Project Veritas is just the window into it. With the latest whistleblower who's, I think, still works at CNN. I don't even think they fired him yet, but his face is known, his name is known, his identity is known. Here he is with some Project Veritas leaks. CNN admitting how racist they are in this undercover Project Veritas video, clip 11.
Seriously, I don't know where the affluent neighborhoods in New Jersey are. Princeton. Okay, let's say in Princeton, a white kid gets shot at Princeton University. He's visiting his big brother, who's a student there. He gets shot. He gets killed. We're gonna get coverage on that because, oh my God, we have to. The precious little thing.
But 3 people get shot in Newark.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares, maybe unless it happens on Cory Booker's plot.
Yeah, and that's typical. Again, they only run with a narrative when it works for their agenda. Police shootings happen a lot. Sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. Police get shot a lot. It's never justified. And they never cover that. 9 New York Police Department officers have committed suicide this year. They never cover that. Here is another clip where the undercover tape is exposing, again, the racial bias within CNN's news broadcasts.
I think that shootings in poorer areas or minority communities don't get as much coverage as if they were to happen in a white area.
So CNN doesn't cover a shooting that happened in a black neighborhood the same that they would cover a shooting in a white neighborhood?
I think unless it were like if it were a mass shooting, like if there were like 20 people killed, they would cover it. But if there were like 2 people killed, like in a gang-related violent shooting, they're not going to really care.
Now here's the truth about Sierra, is this guy's name, talking, because he's not even actually right. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on. Because the truth is, just look at Michael Brown. CNN will cover it in, I guess, what they call a poorer area or a minority area, as long as the situation or circumstances are ambiguous and they can pit a white cop versus black people in general. So even this media coordinator, quote unquote, at CNN doesn't even understand how their propaganda works. But here he is kind of bragging about, yeah, we pick and choose the news. We decide what's news. I'm a big tough guy at CNN. But even he doesn't fully understand it. So he's your typical arrogant liberal that really doesn't even fully have a grasp on what he's talking about. And then here's the CNN field supervisors bragging about how they want Trump dead.
This is a story that's not going to go away.
Oh, the Ukraine thing? Or just Trump in general?
Trump in general. The only way this will go away is when he dies. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. Like, you mean on the 17th? Like Joe Biden randomly said in clip 4? Let's take clip 4 to break, guys.
My son's statement speaks for itself. What I think is important is we focus on why it's so important to remove this man from office. On the 17th, look, the fact that...
Oh, that's today, Joe.
George Washington.
Well, people are shocked now they're finding this story from the New York Times last week, James Comey, A Guide to Impeachment. And the whole thing is, oh, Comey's a hero, you know, Trump's the worst. Trump and all of his trolls, but don't worry, the fake news media is going to get Trump. But the significance here, because folks, you got to understand, they're not going to publish any picture or anything, but any picture without being in full control of what's on there. So why do you have this setup on the picture, what looks like a motorcade going through? I mean, it's Star Wars Legos, and it looks like a Death Star, or I don't know, a droid or something, the Millennium Falcon and an X-Wing that you can see here. And then there's a train going out with some people on it. So again, I don't know what the deal with this is. They don't put that on there. That's clearly a setup. They don't just put that stuff on there. I mean, does Comey even have kids that would play with Legos? Or does Comey play with Legos? I mean, what the hell? So they published that for a reason. That was put there for a reason. That was set up for a reason. And now you have Joe Biden saying we got to get rid of Trump on the 17th. You have Nancy Pelosi fondling bullets 2 straight days while talking about Trump, saying we're not going to give up the fight. We've got Trump in Dallas where they shot JFK to death and lied about it in the media. You've got CNN reporters saying we hope Trump dies soon. I mean, you've got government officials saying someone's going to kill Trump. You've got Chuck Schumer saying the intelligence agencies have ways of getting back at Trump. You know, Reagan was shot too. So, I mean, this is a real deal here. Now, that doesn't mean Trump's going to get shot tonight, but you better damn well believe that they thought about it, if not planned it, and now are curtailing plans because we've been reporting on it all day. But they would have shot Trump yesterday if they could get away with it. And they've already done the measurements. They don't care at this point. It's more worth it for them to get Trump out of office and then see what happens in a civil war after that than to even have Trump in office another day. Because every day Trump's in office is another failure for them. By the way, nobody talked about this, but Dallas Baptist University campus cleared after a bomb threat and an armed attack. They evacuated the campus, canceled all classes. It turned out to just be a hoax, but that was Dallas 2 days ago. Bomb threat, armed attack threat on Dallas Baptist University. And they're just signaling. I mean, look, Hollywood depicts Trump being killed with a decapitated head, Snoop Dogg shooting Trump in the head. I mean, New York Street Theater with the 7 straight days of a Trump assassination live theater event. Johnny Depp says, hey, John Wilkes Booth, remember him? When was the last guy to shoot a president? So they're going for it. They say, oh, he's committed all of these crimes and he's racist and he's that. So they'll celebrate. So they'll put a bullet in Trump's head and then they'll all celebrate. Now, you had Elijah Cummings drop dead today. And you notice how conservatives are all saying, hey, prayer for Elijah Cummings, big ups to Elijah Cummings, he's great. Well, I'm going to remain neutral on it. Good for Elijah Cummings. He lived a famous life and will go down in history as a civil rights activist. But you don't see conservatives celebrating the egghead's death. In fact, that's probably the worst thing that's been said about Elijah Cummings is me just there calling him an egghead. But you know, if Trump died, they would be in the streets popping champagne. And that really just shows you how brainwashed they are. And so, guys, do we have clip 20 ready to go? It's okay if we don't, because it really it's, I mean, folks, look, we've got so much going on here. We can't even put up, I mean, like, it really is frustrating because we need like 30 more crew people, honestly. Because it's like we need to just be able to give an order out and then have someone specifically work on that. Because the video Darren put together is great. Darren puts together 20 compilation videos a day. And then he's just overwhelmed. I mean, literally the guy's server, there's so many, it like shuts down the whole servers. We have so many videos. But it's like, it's a compact compilation that he puts together in an hour. But it's like, we need to have a whole team putting together these compilations. it's one man doing 20 men's work. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's like the Conan the Barbarian of InfoWars around here. So is Rob Dew with everything he does. The whole crew is. But it's like, I should be able to say, okay, let's put out the same clip, but add the clip of Schumer, add the clip of Snoop Dogg shooting the president, add the clip of the street theater assassinating the president, add the clip of Kathy Griffin holding up the Trump head. I mean, we can go on and on and on with this stuff. And that's the thing. It's like, that's the frustration, is we've already done it. We've already put out the compilations. It's just so frustrating that people still fall for the propaganda. Yeah. Yeah, we have the clip of bringing the troops home, which is a real tearjerker. But, you know, InfoWars is next month's news today in this case. But, oh, CNN says it, so it's true now. By the way, this is the same, literally the same person that in 2016 said Trump's chances of becoming president approach zero. In fact, maybe even see if you can find that story from 2016 from CNN. But the same person, Siliza, says now Elizabeth Warren is the new frontrunner. Now, of course, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have the undercover tapes where CNN says, yeah, we're going to promote Elizabeth Warren. We want her to be the frontrunner. And so then they do it in the debate, and they rig the debate, and then they publish the story the next day. Oh, my gosh, Elizabeth Warren is the frontrunner. How did it happen? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I saw this all coming over a month ago. I told you Elizabeth Warren was now the Democrat pick for frontrunner. I'm in their huddle. They don't know what to do. They're freaked out, man. They're so freaked out, and I guarantee you they're freaked out on what we're doing and reporting on today. Okay, so let me just do this before we go to a break, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines for your calls. So, you know, we just look at news stories that affect all humans. This isn't even politically a political thing. It's everybody breathes in the polluted air. And it just came out that polluted air can age your memory by 10 years. You just had a typhoon wash away thousands of bags of radioactive waste from Fukushima in Japan. They don't know where they are. So now there's just, I mean, radioactive waste is everywhere right now in Japan. It's not good. It's in the Japanese seas, and now it's on the streets of Japan. And so we look at things like this. We look at even radioactive content being found on the beaches of California. Now, it turns out that wasn't the cesium, I think it's cesium-37 or whichever one from Fukushima. It ended up being something just on the beach there. So we just look for solutions. So, okay, the air is polluted. Studies say even the air in the average U.S. home is as polluted as a major metropolitan area. So we sell water filters at InfoWarsStore.com. And by the way, we use them too. I've got two in my house. We've got them all around the studio. We see all the studies saying fluoride lowers IQ, radioactive waste found in the ocean. It's getting worse. So we sell iodine. Survival Shield X3, Survival Shield X2. It's well known. In fact, I think it was Russia just stockpiled a bunch of iodine. It's well known, folks, in a nuclear disaster, iodine to save the proper, I can't even think of the gland that it helps right now. Not just the pineal gland, but the one that helps with the immune system. I can't even think of it right now. I'm having a brain fart. But that's what we do. So it's all available at InfoWarsStore.com. And we have free shipping right now going. And we have all kinds of specials. It's everything must go at InfoWarsStore.com. So check that out during this break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. I'm going to open up the phone lines on the other side. How about Chunk Yogurt tweeting this out today? On the day we end Donald Trump's career, I'd like to write Elijah sends his regards. R.I.P. Elijah, rest in power. This is a real sick, deranged individual right here. Chunk Yogurt from the Young Turks denies the Armenian genocide, or I guess just enjoys naming his news organization off the Armenian genocide. What a foul, deranged individual Chunk Yogurt is. Really, that whole staff is foul and deranged. In fact, well, I won't even get into it. Was it Hassan Piker that called for Trump to get killed? Am I wrong about that? He had some controversial thing. Oh, it was the 9/11 thing. He was glad 9/11 happened. That's right. That was the one. Gosh, man. I'm telling you, if Donald Trump was assassinated tonight, or let's say some leftist decided to open up fire on this crowd tonight, they will be popping bottles and celebrating on CNN, on the Young Turks, on MSNBC. These are sick people. Sick people. Makes me sick. I mean, just what is with all the messaging? On the day we end Trump's career, that's tweeted out today from Chunk Yogurt. The weird picture in the New York Times, a guide to impeachment with Comey, all the deep state operatives saying we got to kill Trump, all the Hollywood propaganda saying kill Trump. I mean, open your eyes. All right, I'm going to open up the phone lines here. And let's get your take on the rally coming up. What do you think is going through the Democrats' heads right now? Pull up my Nancy Pelosi tweet, which is being extremely shadow banned right now. By the way, it's really incredible how they shadow ban us on Twitter. I don't want to get into some of the details, but it's pretty pathetic. And it's so obvious, too. But Nancy Pelosi gave a press conference today, again, fondling bullets, talking about how they're going to go after Trump. And folks, I've never seen a woman look more demon-possessed. She even has the goat eyes going. I mean, I guess that's why she has Goat Hill Pizza that I guess makes $200 million. I don't know how else she made that money. Nobody's asking her for her tax returns. Oh, but Gavin Newsom is going to write laws saying, oh, you can't be on the ballot unless your tax returns are up, just to aim it at Trump. But, Pelosi, who robs this country blind, nobody questions her. All right, I better calm down while I'm ahead, because I just start going down this road and I just remember how despicable these people really are. I mean, pull up the picture of Nancy, though. I mean, this woman is possessed by the devil. But here's the thing. They say, oh, Nancy's in control now. She's really owning the president. She's never looked more demonic in her life. The Democrat Party has never looked more, crazy, loony. Bat, you know what, out of this world. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And they're running this whole facade with their cohorts in the media like they're winning. They're the future. They're what's relevant. Ah, yes, we now see the real Nancy Pelosi. We see the real Nancy Pelosi right there. A Baphomet bitch. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You know what, guys? Pull her off the screen. I need to move on before I lose my temper. These people they make me physically ill. I can't help it. All right, let me open up the phone lines. 888-201-2244. 888-201-2244. We'll take your calls on anything we've discussed so far. The demonic nature of the Democrat Party right now. Their cohorts in the media, CNN being totally exposed. The Trump rally coming up tonight. The picture of what looks to be a motorcade, a la the JFK assassination in the New York Times with James Comey. Joe Biden saying this on the 17th. Seriously, though, what is that? Because we all know Joe Biden's having neurological problems right now with his speech. And he's misspeaking, and you can tell that he's jumping from plane to plane, and you can't even add up what he's saying because he's having this neurological problem. He's had how many strokes? I don't know. And so, was it a Freudian slip? Did he know something was going to happen on the 17th? Why did he say the 17th? Did he know they're going to try to assassinate Trump on the 17th? Did he know something was coming up on the 17th? It's all very strange, ladies and gentlemen. But of course they want to kill Trump. Again, all the propaganda is out there. And I don't even know if I want to talk about this. Because it's kind of like inside baseball. But It's almost like The Boy That Cried Wolf, but the wolf's been there the whole time. And people know the wolf is there. They're just sick of hearing about it. It's like, you know there's a deep state that would put a bullet in Trump's head tomorrow if they could. They would have done it yesterday. They would have done it before he even got in office. Absolutely. But if you talk about it, it's kind of like, well, you don't need to go there. It's like, you know it's there. You know the wolf is sitting there chewing the boy's leg off. You know, the wolf has been chewing the boy's leg off for, however long. He's now moved up to the torso and he's, But you're just sick about hearing it. So, Nancy Pelosi fondling bullets. I mean, what the hell is that, folks? I mean, come on. So, it's all already out there. Hollywood, the Democrat Party, the intelligence communities. They're all calling for the assassination of Trump. And then you have all the weird imagery. You have CNN saying we hope he dies soon. You have Joe Biden saying the 17th. You have Nancy Pelosi fondling bullets. You have James Comey with what appears to be a JFK-style motorcade on the front page of the New York Times that he did. I mean, folks, it's all there. I don't know what it means. I don't know if they're going to shoot Trump tonight, tomorrow, or blow up Dallas. But damn, man, they're at their wits' end. You got to understand. The industrial pedophile network, I'm not saying they're all pedophiles. They know about it. They've let it go. And it's all been exposed. Clinton knew about it. They all knew about it. They were all a part of it. Whether or not they're there fondling kids or not on Epstein Island, I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. They've been ignoring real corruption. They've been ignoring real sickness. They've been ignoring all of this stuff. It's all coming out, and they try to point the finger at Trump when we all know they're corrupt. Maxine Waters has been in office since 1991. That dead fish, James Brown wig wearing bitch hasn't done anything. I'm sorry. You know what? I can't talk about these Democrats anymore. I can't do it. Guys, let's go to a clip. I'm going to lose my mind. Do we have clip 20 ready? All right. Seriously, I'm going to lose my mind here. So let's go to a clip. Let's go to clip 6 here, guys. Can we fire clip 6? This is Trump hammering the fake news for running doctored video to try to get us into war in Syria. Go ahead and roll it.
But I wrote a letter right after that conversation, a very powerful letter. There was never given a green light. They've been wanting to do that for years, and frankly, they've been fighting for many, many years. And when you ask a question like that, it's very deceptive, John. It's almost as deceptive as you showing all of the bombings taking place in Syria, and it turned out that the bombing that you showed on television took place in Kentucky. So, and I'm not even sure that ABC apologized for that, but certainly it was a terrible thing. I'm looking at this, I say, wow, that's pretty bad. And it was in Kentucky, it wasn't in Syria, so I don't know what you're going to do about that, but I think ABC owes an apology.
Did you see? No, they should be criminally investigated. They should be criminally investigated for doing that. There's no apology. They don't even explain what happened. All right, I'm starting to lose my cool here. So let's do just roll it, guys. Just roll it. Just roll it. Oh. This is the Paris Zoo unveiling the blob orgasm. Excuse me. It is an orgasm for the left because it has 72 sexes. Oh, 720 sexes. The blob is a living being. Hold on. Look, the crew, just pull it back, guys. Pull it back. I'm sorry. The crew was trying to relieve me of stress. You did a good job. But I wanted to properly laugh at this, though. Paris Zoo unveils the blob, an organism with no brain, but 720 sexes. Well, it has no brain. How can it decide what sex it is? Oh, they didn't think about that one. You know what? Maybe they should go back to marrying penguins, right? Let's go marry 2 men penguins and then claim they're gay. And then let's shove an egg under one of their butts and say, see, they're gay couples raising a gay kid, but it's a non-binary kid. These people are insane. Hey, how many genders do you think this pen has? Guys, how many genders on a pen? Man, part of me wants to just do this to myself. Oh boy. Oh, Beto. Just look at the skill. What are you guys doing to me, dude? I'm gonna be a psychological nightmare tonight. I'm like, oh my gosh, because now I want to go to clip 10 Should we ignite another fire in my soul right now and go to clip 10? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Go ahead, roll clip 10.
This is something since taking office in 2017, Donald Trump has now made more than 13,000 false or misleading claims. That doesn't even count the ones he tells Melania at home. He's averaging 13.5 false claims per day. That's like a lie per Diet Coke for him.
Now, see, pause it right here. Pause it right here. In fact, I'm not even mad, actually. In fact, if Darren McBreen can hear this, he should literally come in here and get on this mic, because Darren McBreen was cued into this. I mean, it's like we already knew it, but he kind of explained it first to me. It's like we all knew how corrupt these people were on late night TV, but it reached a new level. See, Jimmy Kimmel's a comedian, and they have all the late night talk show hosts from Kimmel to Colbert, all these people. Get McBreen on this mic real quick, because McBreen called this out first. So he can break this down, and he's played all the clips. But here's what they do. They have these comedians that don't even do comedy anymore. Really, they step up and do like current event commentary. And so Kimmel's presenting himself like, oh, it's just matter of fact. It's matter of fact Trump is racist. It's matter of fact Alex Jones is a liar. It's matter of fact Trump makes things up. When it's comedy posing as real news. Now, Darren, you were cued in on this a while ago, talking about how they use late night talk TV and they target Trump with it now, and it poses as comedy, but really it's all propaganda aimed at Trump, just in kind of a sleight of hand way.
Oh, hey, Owen, these guys, the late night comedians and late night comedy, SNL included, I believe in many ways they're more dangerous than the mainstream news media, because people take it as the biblical truth, man. I mean, there's so many, and we've even had an employee, I'm not going to mention his name, that used to work here, got kicked out of his apartment because of what the apartment manager saw on late night television, and knew that he worked for us. And so he even got kicked out of his apartment. I think there's a lawsuit somewhere in the works, but it just shows you how a lot of people trust them as a reliable news source. In fact, if you go to CNN.com on any given day, and you'll notice on the right-hand links, they'll have links to news stories. Well, there's a huge amount of news stories that are late-night comedy. It might be a Colbert Report. It might be something on SNL, but even CNN will list that as a reliable news source from what you see on television at night.
But it's this whole matter-of-fact, flippant nature of how they present the information. And so the average audience that probably doesn't watch any news, they just absorb it, and it's just matter of fact, like, oh, it's widely accepted. Well, they don't have to do any research. They don't bother to. They just think, oh, Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't lie to me. He's innocent. He's fun. Oh, Stephen Colbert, he wouldn't lie to me. He's the good guy. He makes me laugh at night. I like him. And so they use that whole innocent kind of nature of late night comedy to just ram the propaganda down your throat. And so the average audience member that doesn't actually watch news just assumes it's matter of fact. I mean, Darren, first of all, thanks for going live, folks. Darren, he loves being live. I mean, it's so easy to get him on live. But you were saying this 3 years ago, man.
Well, I've been saying it for a lot longer than that. And
okay, brag a little bit more then.
And a lot of times, and this is, oh my God, it's like torture, but I will tune in to MSNBC. I'll watch Rachel Maddow, and it's horrible, right? Because, these are my least favorite shows, but I like to know where the left is coming from. And the other day I was listening to NPR, and there was this annoying woman on. I couldn't figure out who it was, but I thought, is she a liberal progressive congresswoman? Who is this woman? Because she had all this dirt on Trump, and it ended up being comedian Janine Garofalo.
You got extended coverage. Tom Pappert is going to be live. He's going to pick it up right after I sign off at 6, and Pappert is going to be live from 6 to 7. And then I come back into the host seat to host from 7 to 9 or later if we have to, covering Trump's rally tonight in Dallas. Now, we'll be using the firepower channels on Band.video and at Infowars.com streams as well to broadcast this coverage of President Trump's rally tonight. Will Johnson is on the ground. He'll be filing reports live from the scene And so I'll be in studio from 7 to 9 breaking it all down. Band.video, ladies and gentlemen. Band.video, where you can find it all. Now, it's all made possible with your support at InfoWarsStore.com. You know how we are the most banned name in news, InfoWars. So it's all possible for us to build new platforms like Band.video, even be live here on air, hire more crew, go to Dallas with multiple reporters, be able to get them on Skype, be able to get other guests on Skype. It's all made possible with your support at InfoWarsStore.com. So be sure to take advantage of the Everything Must Go sale. Everything Must Go, up to 70% off some of the supplements and products at InfoWarsStore.com. Look at the emergency survival foods. Look at the Alexa Pure Breeze air filter that's 40% off. Look at the water filters if you're not filtering your water yet. I mean, I almost should play that bimbo fluoride head saying, oh, I drink the fluoride. It's like a 6-year-old lady playing a plastic flute saying, I drink the fluoride all my life. Look at me. I turn out okay. On a plastic flute. And you're just like, oh, geez. But there it is, folks. I mean, I should really just make a list of all the InfoWars supplements I take every day. And I had a couple, actually, doctor visits today. And just perfect health report every time I go. And, yes, thank you, guys. The crew gives me a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm doing okay. My heart could give out at any moment, but, you know, that's just how it goes when you're up here raging because you have to deal with this information overflow. So take advantage of the specials at InfoWarsStore.com. All right, I've got callers on the line, and I promise I wouldn't make you wait too long. So let's do this and go to the phone callers and go to Jared calling in from Washington to start it off. Go ahead, Jared.
Great to talk to you. I got to tell you, this morning at 10:17 this morning, we had a tsunami siren test alert, whatever. Just seeing the signs like everything else is going on, having weird dreams with, you know, and then Alex talking about the earthquakes and stuff or whatever it is, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, not only that, let's not forget that the geysers, I think it's in Washington. Where's the big geyser? That is erupting erratically. They've never seen it like this before. You've got all the weird UFO footage. I mean, believe in UFOs or not, or whatever, aliens. I mean, it's out there. It's real. So there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening right now. The AI. In fact, I got a story right here. Not to, Jared, we'll go back to you. It's just you got me going down this road now. We shared it at Infowars.com from Daniel Taylor. Doctor concerned about secret human experiments fueling advancement in brain chip technology. Now, I think I've only mentioned this on air once, and I think it was last week, talking about human experiments with brain chips and how we really don't know what's going on there. Well, something's happening. But how do we know? How do we know what's been rolled out? How do we know what's been tested? How do we know what AI is already there, what's not? How do we know what brain chips have been tested? I mean, it's wild, and it's the whole quickening is happening. And I've always said, time is not linear. Time is a spiral. And so as we go down this time spiral, everything compacts and gets it's a quickening. So sorry to take over your time here, Jared. Go ahead.
Say they're pulling out all the stops. There's no cards off the table for them. I think they're going to do anything they can possibly do to just get either the attention off them or whatever it be. It's they want us living in fear. That, you know, all this stuff that's going on right now. We're looking at the you know, hopefully it's not the end of civilization or whatever it is, but I don't think they care. I mean, they're going to go hide in their bunkers anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're just
we didn't even mention the 5G, the 5G that could melt all of our brains.
Well, you know, all I can say is that I'm praying for my family and loved ones, keeping my head on a swivel, doing everything I can to be aware of what's going on around me. You know, kind of looking at the skies. As Alex was talking about, if they were going to do that earthquake thing, then we might see some green color in the sky or whatever it is. But we're at that moment. I mean, this is, and it's just like Ronald Reagan and Kennedy and all that stuff. This is where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you just mentioned that we got wildfires in California. You got the Chinese censorship in the West. I mean, all of it. All the fronts are reaching ahead right now. They're all reaching ahead. Something's got to give. And, I think, look, we know they all had plans to escape to bunkers when they released a bioweapon or who knows what they want to do. Those plans are all kaput. They know they can't do that. The cat's out of the bag. They can't run to their bunkers anymore. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen in a flashpoint, and they know it. Jared, thank you so much for the call. Let's go to Sean in Chicago. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I've listened to your show today. This is utterly reprehensible, what you guys are doing. This is a shame. You are predicting the assassination of the President of the United States tonight in Dallas? Are you people stupid?
Is that it?
Go ahead, talk. I'm listening.
Okay, Sean, well, what do you make of CIA going on CNN and saying the government's going to kill this president? What do you make of Chuck Schumer saying the intelligence agencies have 7 ways of Sunday of getting back? What do you make of Kathy Griffin? What do you make of Snoop Dogg? What do you make of Johnny Depp? What do you make of the New York Theater, all depicting Trump's assassination? What do you make of James Comey with the weird picture in the New York Times? What do you make of Nancy Pelosi looking like a damn demon fondling bullets on her wrist? What do you make of Joe Biden saying on the 17th, 2 days before, here we are, and Trump's about to go to Dallas? What do you make of that, Sean?
Are you listening to yourself? Snoop Dogg, Saturday Night Live, and Kathy Griffin are involved in the plot for the assassination plot of the President of the United States tonight?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard what you said. You sound like an idiot. I mean,
No, Sean, hold on a second. Well, Sean, hold on a second. You call into this show, you insult me. I don't care. Answer my question. Sean, answer my question. What do you make of all of that? I didn't make that up. I didn't tell Kathy Griffin to pose with a decapitated Trump head. What do you make of that, Sean?
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Yeah.
So it's hyperbole when Phil Mudd says government's going to kill this guy? Is that hyperbole?
Yes.
But I'm not allowed to engage in hyperbole and say, hey, they might try to assassinate Trump tonight?
You're not being specific. You're going to get somebody hurt. You're going to get somebody killed.
I'm going to get somebody hurt. And how is that, Sean? Do I call for violence on air? Do I lie about Trump all day? And am I Jussie Smollett, Sean? How am I going to get somebody hurt?
You know, I'm Jussie Smollett. That happened 2 blocks from my condo.
What, that fake news?
Yeah, everybody knows it's fake news. It happened 2 blocks from my condo.
So how am I a threat? How am I putting people in danger, Sean? Jussie Smollett and the fake news puts people in danger. CNN and MSNBC put people in danger when they lie about this country all day long. How do I put people in danger, Sean?
Well, let me tell you how. And give me a second. You are a very bad broadcaster. You might be the worst broadcaster.
Whoa. So what? I can be the worst broadcaster in the world. How does that put people in danger?
Because the only people listening to you besides me today, only to call in and tell you what an idiot you are idiots themselves. So somebody...
Well, what does that make you?
I'm repudiating you guys. I'm done with you guys after today because...
Okay, bye. Nice call, Sean. Hey, you know what, Sean? Sean will love it if they actually shot the president in the head. He would probably love it. He'd be one of those people popping bottles. But how dare I talk about it? What happened to JFK? What happened to Ronald Reagan? No, nobody ever tries to assassinate the president. Look, I am not above criticism or somebody calling me like the last caller and saying, hey, I don't think what you're saying is right here, but I'm going to stand my ground. And you have to understand something. Whether or not you think it's fear-mongering for us to talk about Trump getting assassinated, that is perfectly fine. But Donald Trump is a threat to the military-industrial complex. You know what they do to people like that? They kill them. They've been doing this for 50 frickin' years. Okay? Hillary Clinton laughs about killing Gaddafi in Libya. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, all the Clinton body count. Fine. I'm sure Sean Lucas and Seth Rich and, man, what was the other guy's name? I can't remember. He died falling off a boat from head trauma somehow. Nobody knows. Wisenton Baronet, oh, I'm sure it's all a coincidence, these connections to the Democrat Party and the illegal email servers of Hillary Clinton while she's running for office. Sure, it's all a coincidence with the Podestas and their weird art. But again, I understand saying, hey, you know, maybe you shouldn't go that far talking about president's assassination. Fine, I'm open to criticism. But let's not sit here and act. I mean, why do you think the president has secret security? Why do you think they don't even let someone with a sign into a Trump rally? Why do you think they have 10 snipers on the roof of a building Trump is in? Why do you think they have metal detectors? Because people want to kill the president. Duh. And I'm sorry that there's all this weird symbolism out there with the Democrats right now calling for the assassination of Trump. That's just a fact. So it's not fear-mongering to point out what's real. Again, if you want to say, hey, I don't think that this is fair coverage, I don't agree with it, perfectly fine. But don't sit here and deny the fact that there's a serious risk of Trump being assassinated. Don't sit here and deny the fact that the deep state killed JFK, tried to kill Ronald Reagan, and Trump is a direct threat to the military-industrial complex and these endless wars in the Middle East. He said so yesterday. So yes, they want to put a bullet in his head. Guaranteed. Does that mean it's going to happen tonight? I don't know. They'd love to kill him tonight. Like I said, they would have killed him yesterday. Let's go back to the callers. Let's go to Fuller in Florida. Go ahead, Fuller.
How dare you? How dare you stand up for yourself?
How dare you shop at InfoWarsStore.com?
How dare you stand up to my comrade?
How dare you don't let the Democrats kill the president? How dare you?
Hey, Sean, man, you're a nutcase, man. We love Owen.
Hey, don't worry about Sean. He's dealing with teacher strikes up there in Chicago where there's this tremendous irony. It's a whole socialist thing. They want more government money for the teachers. They also want, it's kind of like a climate change protest too. And they've been raising money, guess how? Through capitalism on GoFundMe. And they've got $30,000 that they've raised to feed all of these teachers. Boy, for $30,000, I bet you could have actually helped the schools. But that's neither here nor there. What'd you call in about today, Fuller?
Hey, you are on fire. You've been on fire, but you made a point about a month or two ago that really stuck with me. When you said that it don't matter what Trump does with the economy or China, if he leaves office and nobody's arrested and censorship isn't addressed, he's failed. And you stress the fact, no what if, do it. And that just, it made so much sense with me, man. I haven't forgot that.
Well, I don't know what the president is measuring as far as things are concerned, but you can tell his rhetoric has become more InfoWars-like over the last couple weeks. I think he's consuming more InfoWars and less Fox News here lately. But
right.
Here's what it comes down to echo what you're saying. And the president knows this, but these people will stop at nothing. They will stop at nothing to get their communist socialist agenda here in America. They'll stop at nothing to keep us funding endless wars in the Middle East. They will stop at nothing. And again, I don't know what Trump's measurement of this is, but yes, if these people are not arrested, the ones that have run this coup against the president, they'll do it again for the next president. So it's a never-ending crisis here until somebody does something about it. That's what we've realized. I don't know what Trump's measurement of this is. They're getting crazier by the day. Maybe the president is just waiting it out until they just go full-blown crazy. I don't know how they could get crazier than calling to confiscate the guns, fondling bullets while they talk about going after the president. I mean, literally calling for him to be killed on CNN. So I don't know what gets crazier, but it's true. These people need, I mean, let's investigate Nancy Pelosi. Let's see Nancy Pelosi's tax returns. Oh no, we don't get to see that.
Right.
And anything else, Fuller?
Yeah, just real quick. There's a page I follow on social media, and there's a rumor going around that you and Savannah Hernandez are dating.
We're actually married.
Are y'all?
Yeah, so whoever's on that discussion board, maybe it was me. Maybe I'm running the rumor board.
Is that you?
No, I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
I had to just clear that up. I'll get on the site now and say I just talked to Owen personally.
What website is this? Hey, look, there's my wife.
Savannah?
Get off of your phone. You're supposed to be working. What are you doing? Are you texting Paul Joseph Watson?
Yeah. No. People are seriously trying to connect dots there.
I'll tell you, it's actually funny. Oh, she was texting me. It's actually funny because there's all kinds of crazy rumors about me on the internet beyond just like I'm a Russian or I'm a Israeli or I'm an FBI agent or all this crazy stuff. And it's just funny because like family and friends that know me, the crew that knows me, it's just so laughable. I'm about as irregular as guy as you could get. Grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Went to school, got degrees.
One last thing. I'm upset with your Cardinals right now.
Yeah,
we all my Braves.
We try not to think about it. Oh,
no.
Well,
you knocked my Braves out.
Hey, is it true? Are the Braves getting rid of the tomahawk chop?
Oh yeah, yeah. If they do that, I grew up watching John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, and
yeah, you guys tomahawk chopped the Cardinals out of the '96 NLCS. I still remember it. But hey, for real though, that's too bad if they get rid of the tomahawk chop. That is a chop.
I know. If they do that, I'll be done with baseball too. Now it's LeBron. He ruined the
And
NBA.
now they do the baby shark. Have you seen the baby shark? It's like they literally have stories saying the baby shark chant is what we need, not the tomahawk chop. The baby shark thing is right out of a softball league, a female softball league.
Yeah, if they get rid of the chop, I'm probably going to be done with the MLB too. I'm already done with the NFL too.
Well, hey, yeah, the Cardinals didn't show up for the NLCS. That's too bad. But hey, I give credit to the St. Louis Blues, who had a very classy visit to the White House. Tip of the hat to them. All right, I got a little sports fix here, so we'll move on. Thanks for the call, Fuller. And I'm going to have to address my wife, Savannah, texting other men in the break. So this could be problematic. I didn't know we've been exposed on the internet, folks. I could be over. Sean called too. We're going to go back out to your phone calls here. President Trump has been very busy. He's been in he's been in Texas for, all day now. He just attended a ribbon cutting. In fact, he just cut the ribbon. He literally just cut the ribbon at a brand new Louis Vuitton bag center. In fact, I think Savannah's gone. She just left. No, not because she found out about my deceased ex-wife. I'm joking. Because she's going to get a new Louis Vuitton bag, now made in Texas. All right, sorry. It's been a roller coaster today. Let me go back to your phone calls. Let's go to Michael. Michael in Texas. Go ahead.
Hey, Owen, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, I just had a few points to make. I wanted your thoughts on how you think QAnon plays in all of this, since Q is the 17th letter in the alphabet. Also, what you think about Elijah Cummings passing away today, and do you think it's possible he may have had something to do with today's planned assassination attempt against Trump? Because based on everything said so far, even if it ends up not happening today, which we hope it doesn't, we know it was definitely planned out.
Well, look, and let's just say, and here's the thing, too. Let's just say there was some planned assassination attempt on Trump tonight. I don't know if they're at a point where they would forego making InfoWars look like, beyond geniuses by pulling through with it anyway. Because they already do that to a certain level with a lot of the stuff we report that ends up coming true. But that's like, I don't know if they're that. That's like total desperation. You cannot reach any more desperation. I think they're maybe one or two steps away from that. So what was your other question? I'm sorry.
The QAnon. I don't follow QAnon enough to know, but my brother does.
Right. And Elijah Cummings. I'll just say this. Look, I don't follow Q. I've addressed this before. That's just because, I don't do, how can we say, cryptic predictions. I'm not going to say Q is real or fake, but I can't report on what Q does. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just not really should we say, formal for me to do that. I know that people love Q and that things Q has said has come true. A lot of things InfoWars says have come true. So that doesn't necessarily mean Q isn't in the intelligence agencies. But as far as the Elijah Cummings thing is concerned, you know, it is interesting. I haven't really looked into it, but it came out of nowhere, right? I mean, there was no – did anybody ever see anything about Elijah Cummings and failing health or anything like that? And I haven't really seen why he died either. So it's kind of this weird thing where it's just he drops dead out of nowhere, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's just a thing. I don't know how he died or anything. Haven't looked into it that much. But is there a connection? I don't know, man. It's crazy out there at this point, right?
Right. Also, one other point, too, is CNN didn't post the debate on YouTube. The full debate is on their website. So it's been very difficult to find the video where Biden actually says Trump is going to be removed on the 17th. If you search everything, when you search it all, nothing but mainstream media links come up. So the censorship's got to end. Another point that I didn't get to make last time I called in was the symbolism behind the rat falling out of the ceiling in the White House. Many people, some people don't know, but year 2020 is the year of the rat in the Chinese calendar. So that's something to look out. Maybe China has something up their sleeve for 2020. Who knows if it's good or bad? So,
well, and let's be clear too here. Thanks for the call. You know, Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen, he has the whole smooth talking, slick criminal smile, you know, grandpa look, but that guy is a flaming criminal. I mean, flaming criminal, and he knows it, and he knows what the Obama administration did and what he did, and so if anybody's in on the assassination attempt, it's probably Joe Biden, because he's up there desperately wanting it to happen. Again, that's not me saying, oh, you know, Joe Biden's about to pull the trigger on Trump tonight. No, that's saying Joe Biden knows his political career is in the crosshairs because of all the criminality he's engaged in, and so he's just as desperate for Trump to be out of the picture. And here's the thing, too. Even if they remove Trump from office or impeach Trump, he already has all the dirt on these people. You don't think President Trump got into office and immediately looked into who Barack Obama really is, folks? You still can't. They still haven't actually released all of Obama's information. It's all locked away. And I think he may have even moved some of it to his library or attempted to in Chicago and have it locked up like he did with all the other illegal stuff he did. I mean, literally, that's what Obama's engaging in right now. He's literally trying to lock up all the documents in his Chicago library. I'm sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. Thanks for the call, Michael. Let's go to Red in Texas. Go ahead, Red.
Hey, what's up, Owen? Love the show, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I was just calling about that beta male Sean that called earlier, and he was saying about how is Snoop Dogg irrelevant to what you were saying. And I just want to say that all these people, Snoop Dogg, Kathy Griffin, Stephen Colbert, they all hang out together. They all party together. They're all on the same team. They all know what they're doing. And so when they talk like that about assassinating the president, that's when you know that that's something that they're really working for.
And of course, they call him a Nazi. They call him this. They call him that. It's all being justified in the media as well. And that's why they'll be able to get, and if they do it, they'll celebrate it. And it'll all be justified. Colbert, Kimmel, they'll literally go on air and celebrate that Trump is dead, saying, look, we did it.
Yeah, they're all part of the same machine, man.
It's sick, but that's who we're dealing with.
Yeah, and then especially when Nancy Pelosi is doing that thing with the orange bullets, it took me a second to realize it, but maybe she was trying to make some kind of threat or something like that, but she's just so messed up.
Well, and here's the thing, too. I looked into it. So June 2nd is considered Wear Orange Day, and it's for awareness of gun violence prevention. But the two times where she tries to bring that up, she literally stumbles and fumbles through her words. This is the orange for the gun provides. So she's not even really making the connection. So it really makes you wonder, why is she promoting that she has this bullet on her wrist? Why is she wearing the orange? It's very cryptic, very eerie to me. And then the picture in the New York Times with Comey, all the CNN reports saying this guy needs to die, all the Hollywood stuff saying here's Trump dead. I mean, they're clearly putting the propaganda out there.
Yeah, and there's pictures of them all hanging out on, Epstein's Island and stuff. You got Lady Gaga and
Oh, yeah, with Marina Abramovich and Jay-Z. And then they come and they say, oh, you know, Owen, you're causing a disruption of the public. You're going to cause violence. I'm not the one up here lying every day. Okay, I'm not the one engaging in and trying to engage in a race war here. I'm not the one saying I'm going to take your guns. I'm not the one censoring people. That's not us.
Yeah, and you guys are so great. I love the entire InfoWars team and staff, and every newscaster you have is just so great. And one of the problems I think that those in the Matrix, I always say, have is that y'all are real people. And we're in the day and age now where people don't even know what real people look like anymore and talk like and sound like.
Oh, it's true. And here's the thing, too, because it's like you can't even talk. Look, these people, I've met a lot of these people on TV news. Most of them are stuck up, you know what. And look, it's just like you said, Red, we're just real people, man. And it's strange because you'll see it. And then President Trump is now talking like InfoWars. You'll see reports that InfoWars does that'll end up being mainstream news a week or two later. And so they all know what the tip of the spear is. They can't deny it at this point. They can still try to act like we're not here. They can still try to demonize us. But everybody knows the real deal. People get shocked when I reply to them if they send me a message or a link or something or on my Subscribestar. No, we're real. We're in this together. That's exactly it.
I just want to say as my final point that Michelle Obama is a man. Trump 2020.
Well, that's actually a pretty good campaign slogan right there. Trump 2020, Michelle Obama is a man. I'm sold. Hell, we sold out of the protein bars. Michelle Obama keeps stuffing them in her trousers. There's the climate change protester dance. One of many. First, you do a line of Coke. Then you do a speedball. Then you bash your neighbor over the head with a hammer. Then you drink a gallon of fluoride. Then you're ready to climate change protest. All right. I can't even help it. I just... All right, I'm just going to do it because it's on my mind. We're getting a bunch of people complaining because we were supposed to have this Red Ice TV on today. I don't know who they are. They just got banned on YouTube. And then someone says, hey, you shouldn't have them on. They're critical of Alex Jones and InfoWars. And I just say, hey, well, you know what? We're covering something else today, so let's just not have them on today. And so we did cancel them today, but we're going to get them on. So people keep saying, oh, you're censoring Red Ice. Whatever. They've been critical of InfoWars. They've been critical of Alex. I don't care. We're standing for free speech. So we're going to go ahead and get them on tomorrow. So congratulations. The activism of the Red Ice audience, we'll get them on. But don't think we're trying to censor them. So there you go. So they've been censored off YouTube. I believe it's for reporting all the crimes happening in Sweden. All right. Let me take another phone call. And then we've got Tom Pappert coming up to host for the next hour. Folks, let me remind you about the sales at InfoWarsStore.com. Don't be like caller Sean with low IQ. He's been drinking the fluoridated water, and he really needs some Survival Shield X2 from InfoWarsStore.com. He really needs a water filter, probably needs some Brain Force too. So it's all on sale at InfoWarsStore.com right now. Everything must go. Up to 70% off items at InfoWarsStore.com. By the way, we've got the Super Silver Skin Cream here. My soon-to-be ex-wife, Savannah Hernandez, came in and tried to steal my Super Silver Skin Cream during the break, and she was successfully stole it, but I use it every day to keep my hands smooth. My hands are a little calloused from lifting weights and such, playing golf and everything over the time. So the Super Silver Skin Cream is great for me because instead of having to deal with these rough calluses, I put the Super Silver Skin Cream on there, and it smooths it out. And it's also approved by Savannah, so you know it's good. All right, let me take another phone call here before we're joined by Tom Pappert. Let's go to Dennis in Kentucky. Go ahead, Dennis.
First off, Owen, we have to do this. The toothpaste is incredible. Please, people, buy unfluorinated toothpaste from InfoWars. Please get you an air filter, Alexa Pure Breeze. Please, for the love of God, filter your water, Pro Pure King. can do wonders. You have to cook with water. Do not take tap water to cook with. And stop waiting on the grocery stores. Please go get you some Patriot seeds from InfoWarsStore.com. Owen, I'm so sorry that you had to go through everything you had to go through, but I have to go ahead and give you the whole rundown.
Give it to
me. The
me.
Democrat Party is not looking to take Trump now. It's not going to happen. They know this. All they're doing, and I will sit here until I'm blue in the face and say this. It's not Trump now. It's 2024. They are going to try to dismantle everything that this man has done because he set out to do the same thing to Obama. Understand that all this is a money grab. The Democratic Party is broke. They need money. So to do that, everybody has to come out. Everybody has to get dressed, and everybody has to say and do what the puppet master has told them to.
Yeah, and I think you can tell, too, with an individual like Beto up there calling for gun confiscation now. Look, he has 0% chance of becoming president. He knows that. He's not stupid. But he still has 100% chance to raise money. And so damn well he's going to do that, and he's going to do and say whatever he thinks is possible to get more funds in. So if that means literally saying, yep, I'm going to take all the guns, then that's what he did, and that's what he does.
It's even more than that, because as soon as you get that money, you better fork it over, or something might just happen to you. Rest in peace, Elijah Cummings. Rest in peace.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yes, Elijah Cummings' death did seem to come out of nowhere today.
Yeah, just like, who was that? H.R. McMaster's father just happened to pass away.
Well, let's not forget about the late Justice Scalia, who turned up dead on a ranch in the middle of Texas where a bunch of weird stuff happens.
Exactly.
And they exhumed his body before there could even be an autopsy report. Totally illegal, by the way.
Totally illegal. So,
but nothing to see here. Whoa, nothing to see here, Dennis. No.
Let's not hold these people to low standards. You know what they're capable of. So do I. So, people, for the love of God, for the love of your country, for the love of the InfoWars crew and everything that InfoWars stands for, do the right thing. Investigate before you vote on somebody you have no clue about. Do your due diligence as an American. Do your due diligence as a patriot. And for the love of God, take care of your health. InfoWarsStore.com. I love you, Owen.
Thank you, Dennis. It's mutual. And you know, what he says is so paramount, too, because we all have to stand together right now or hang separate. And it's the whole strength in numbers thing. It's so important that there's 50,000 people at this Trump rally in Dallas because it just destroys the narrative that the mainstream media plays. But the problem is they have such a control over the flow of information that most people won't even see Trump's rally or know about the huge crowds, so then they can lie about it. All right, I'm about to sign off, but Tom Pappert is going to take over for the next hour, and then I'm going to rejoin him at 7. If you're still on the line, Tom will take your call coming up in the next hour, but Tom Pappert joins me now. Let's just get Tom on real quick. Tom, what do you plan on talking about here in the next hour?
Well, Owen, as you well know, there's a lot of very suspicious stuff happening surrounding this next rally. Everything from Joe Biden seeming to have his little Freudian slip talking about when Trump is gone on the 17th. We also know there are CNN insiders. Everything you've been talking about has been so on point. CNN insiders saying it's surprising the man hasn't been killed by now. We've also got a couple fun stories that I want to cover. A black professor says that, yes, President Trump is responsible for yet another thing. It turns out Orange Man caused obesity. I mean, I don't know. I guess this is a new study, but yes, a professor is saying that President Trump is the reason why African-American women are obese. This is a bizarre world, but it's a fun story.
Wait a second. Are you serious?
Yes.
Hold on. This is actually hilarious. Let me see this headline because literally this is promoted in media to girls, be a big fat bitch, excuse me, have a big fat butt and shake it and twerk it, you know, be a bad bitch, excuse my language, that's literally what they say, you know, have a big fat booty. So that's literally promoted. What's the one rapper's name at the BET Awards came out with a big fat butt on the stage. So it's literally promoted self-love, love your big fat body, have a big fat butt. That's what men want. No, it's really not. But so they literally promote that, and then somehow that's Trump's fault?
It is, I would say, shocking, Owen, but you know as well as I do that it's just par for the course in this clown world. And that photo that they just had up, it's also written up at nationalfile.com. But that photo is the woman who is making this claim, saying that Trump is the reason so many of these young women are obese. And, you know, obesity is a terrible epidemic in this country. But, Owen, you're right. It is so encouraged. For the past 10 years, we've had body positivity, beautiful at any size. Well, we just saw a few days ago a Calvin Klein ad that had a morbidly obese woman in it.
I was literally just saying that to the crew to pull it up. Literally, it's so unhealthy what they're promoting.
And it's,
you know what?
every single venue.
You know what, Tom? I have to take this time. Tom's about to take over, folks. But Tom, I got to take this time. I had to go to a doctor today. When I was playing summer ball, when I was 20 years old, in a tournament, I slid into home plate and I jammed my knee. In fact, I'm just going to show it right now. Because this is Trump's fault. You see, I jammed my knee, and I have a big bone growth on my knee here when I was playing summer ball when I was 20. And I went to the doctor today. It's a bone growth here because I slid into the catcher at home. I was safe, by the way. But this bone growth, this is Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault I slid into home and jammed my knee and scored a run. So it's Trump's fault now if I have knee surgery. Screw you, Trump. All right, I'm going to take off for an hour. Tom Papper takes over. That does it for the War Room. I'll be back, though. You stay classy, Info Warriors.